Okay, bet. It's your boy, Kamal Hart, and we on the chart. What's up, man? Um, Today we're gonna start off right at, let's see, 602. Let's do that. This bar. Okay, let's do 602. You see a leg up, one leg in it, a pullback, and a second leg in it. Let's just start it off by measuring that. And then up there, kind of getting that measured move. Two matching legs. Okay. Uptrend vibes. But go check out Al Brooks, and he talks about how this, one second, this trend up, or particularly this one, that's a strong move up. This double thing right here, that's a strong move up. As opposed to what I'm charting now, this volume wave, this uptrend that I have in the channel, that's not as strong because it moves up strong, but then it came back strong. It moves up. So let's see what it does here. We're going to be looking to go long on the EMA or our lower trend line. Big red bar, it's coming on the way down. This right here is only a first entry. The failed second entry happened over here, off the low, went up, came lower once, went up, came lower twice. You could have went long there, but that was at like 5 in the morning. So we're going to skip this trade. Good for us. Okay, now we're starting to move down pretty strong. We have a swing high, a lower high, a move beyond a previous swing, and a move past our EMA, and a close, not just a move, a close past the EMA. So let's come over here and give that a micro trend. Right there. Okay. I don't know if we want to take any shorts right now, but we'll see if this line is holding the price action. And since it's so far away like this, you can go ahead and bring it over and just kind of, as it goes down, make it fit and see how that looks. So maybe it's there, or you try to get it. I already know for sure this is going to be too tight, but see how it kind of hits those 3 wicks. Sometimes when I know it's too tight, I just automatically make a micro line out of it. And let's just say like that's the middle-ish. So then maybe I'll look for a bounce on this second line that I had made over here. And just for, this stuff is an art, man. I like making my charts pretty. You feel me? So we just do that right there. And let's see how it comes down. Okay, touching it, inside of it. See how that line is holding it? That's good. And this channel line is also holding price action. It's decent. It keeps going. Now it's just kind of moving down our channel. No short entries. There just hasn't been a chance unless you trade some sort of strategy that's different. In our strategy, there's no trade in there, so we're just waiting. Okay, we're getting some stack up, and if you remember yesterday when we were talking about micro congestion, I call them staples when they're little 3 bars like that. I just make little staples because that's what they look like on my chart. But not so much that we're going to make plays off this, but it just helps us think about the price cycle so we're ready to make the best probability decision at the right times. Kind of keeps moving down. Then we get a big bounce. And you see there, now we're starting to get that support off these swings. So you can even make this line a lot bigger and have it touch this one and then be under these ones. So we're getting some support. That's dope. It's kind of arbitrary, that I make another line, and then I'm just going to bring it somewhere to the highs. Probably, if I get a touch on both highs, that's pretty cool. But it's not a clear, there's not a clear high up here. So we'll wait to see for that one. Okay, this is a big signal bar. You could consider going long here. I'm not going to take this, but it is a second entry from this high. First move up, move down. When it breaks above this big green bar, that's a second entry. And it's 6:36, so the market opened 6 minutes ago. And it was interesting, yeah, the market opened up here on these two bars. And this move was a 6-minute move. Pretty strong considering that move took, 4 hours. So, okay. So there's a break above, kind of a reversal looking bar, but see how we're still getting stack up on that line? That's a pretty good sign. Kind of far from the EMA too. So now I'm getting ready for a lower high, or a higher low. I always confuse that for some reason, but a higher low entry. I want something to break below this bar, but not break below this bar and give me a bullish signal. I'm going to buy it. Okay, that's cool. Boom, bullish signal. Now, typically, this is our signal bar. This is an average signal bar if you're going to go long, but the trigger bar is really strong. I'm going to go long there. Sometimes it's better just to wait for a clean signal. But in this scenario, when you think about the range going on and these now like a double test and it's tested it so much over here, I'm cool with going long on the close here or on the price right there. We're looking for prices to come up and test this line. So you think about what I'm risking and then what I'm trying to get. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So I enter. This was a little like because now this looks like a second entry short. It's not a great signal bar, and we still haven't gotten to it. The thing with entering on the lower high is that you are expecting one more pullback and then a move. I mean, it's best when it just goes straight from the higher low, but you're still going to be expecting one more little push before we start to move. So you just have to sit through this. Your stop needs to be below this signal bar, one tick. So that'd be 30, 67, 75. So if that's where my stop is, I just wait. Cool. And it never breaks below in the first place, so that's dope. Get my scalp out just before the EMA, and I have a second contract that, here's actually where I made my mistake today, because the second contract, I have a 3-point arbitrary target, but in this scenario, I should be thinking about a target up here, and that's a huge, risk-reward type situation. So I'll kind of tell you how I managed that second contract and where I think I messed up and I should improve for next time. Okay, inside bar, doji, cool, let it play out. And then here, I exit my second contract on the break below previous bar, the EMA. When we look at this micro trend, we haven't really broken and tested the lows. So I am a little anxious letting it pull back. But to counter that, a lot of times in ranges, we ignore the breakout and retest when it does get to the opposite side. like even these trends did it, where this is a micro trend and we never retested the low, and even on the way up, we you know, if it went off this area, that trend line never retested and goes back down. So I know to ignore the retest sometimes. I just didn't let the price action play out, and I moved my stop to break even +1. The interesting thing about this is that as it pulls back, with my technique, with 2 contracts, I should cover at 9 ticks. And so on this, and this happens so often, it's crazy. When I entered here from 3069.25 to 3071.100, that's 8 ticks. It's actually 7 ticks. So I needed it to go 2 points +1, and then my stop that was down here will automatically move to break even +1, which would have been 3069.50. I ended up exiting at 3069.75 because I moved it early. So as it bounces, right here you get your failed second entry short trade. Remember what I was saying back here about I'm still expecting it to pull back once before we, you know, start to take off. This is that pullback, and it's almost a repeat setup. It's a repeat setup. So yeah. So you see that? And so in theory, right, if I take this trade, I haven't exited this trade. My last contract is still on, and this is the position I want to be in with that second contract, because now once it breaks these highs, it's almost nothing to lose, and I literally have a profit margin of 76. Yeah, like 7 points. That's great. So that's what I need to work on for tomorrow, is just executing the strategy. And that's why I like trading 3 contracts, because if you scalp out on 3, even if you lose this third last contract, if you tighten your stop at any point, you're gonna be okay, and at least you won't lose the overall trade. So this works once you scalp out more contracts than you run. So 1-to-1 doesn't work. It needs to be two scalps to 1 run, and then you can start to even take the loss. You know, you could have let the scalp hit, and then it could have came all the way back down past my stop loss, and I still would have made money. That just requires the patience. I wasn't ready to give up a profit. Okay, moving on. Spend a little bit on that. Now that we have this reversal pattern, let's go ahead and give it a trend line, something like there. Okay, so now on our way up, we're going to be kind of paying attention to these volleys. Even though this was a setup, there was nothing here for us to take. You just have to watch that one go. Give me a second, I'll clean up. Give me a second, I'll clean up the chart. I need to make hotkeys for these. That's definitely what I need to do. I'm gonna get on that. Okay, so we're making a bounce off. Keep going. Finally, we're touching the other side. See how we get this rejection candle? That's dope. So imagine this trade that I took back here, I would still be in. And every time we make a swing high, I just move it a tick below the swing. So right now, my stop would be here. I'd want to cover some of this move, but you know, my stop is here. So it's funny. It's like it's gone a long way, but I really don't have any of that in the pocket yet. I'm still kind of, I'm literally still at break even +1, even though it's moved so much. So it pulls back, but right there we get another swing. So now my stop would move right there. So now I've covered a lot of it just off this move. And a swing is just if it goes down, breaks a previous candle, and then it breaks the other side of the next candle. Boom, swing. So we're going to cover that. Okay, double bottom, triple bottom. These are all dojis. Basically, prices, you know, this is a sign of a strong trend, I think. You had to move up, and instead of coming down to retest the EMA, prices are moving sideways to retest the EMA. So you're going to just get this continuation sideways. That's meaning there's so many people buying it that the sellers who are stacking up in these bars here, even though they're selling, they're not getting prices any lower from this range. See a little staple area? If you want, let's be proactive, and we can chart that. Bam. Okay. Then you get a push up. Dope. Breaking old highs. It didn't even get to the EMA, by the way. Our stop's still there. It's pushing higher. Nice. That's what we like to see for sure. Coming back down to this trend line. See how you're getting another nice signal bar off there. Holding. You know, technically, this right here, this isn't a swing. The prices haven't broken above. But now that I see these triple bottoms, I'm probably going to treat this like a swing. And look at that, it broke below, came above, that's cool. No trades though. See how we're just going sideways. There's nothing to really watch for now. Reversal bar, right back into the EMA. At this point, we want to look for longs. Bam, big red bar. So that's cool. So if you treat this area like congestion, right? We'd have a line here, and it just broke out, right? And there's probably a high side over there or something. So it just broke out. We have this overall bigger range. We're in the middle of this overall bigger range. We're going to be on our hands for now until we get a buy setup or maybe something to sell up here. Keeps going. Nothing there. Some mild stack up. Matching bottoms. We're not buying the breakout, but we're interested. Maybe we'll get another push down and move higher to test these highs again. And then right there, you do get a second entry short, and you're still in position to take this trade. If you are aggressive, and let's make sure that you get out 30, 71, 50. Yeah, there's enough to get out on a limit. If you have a limit order right on the close of this bar, you can get out before getting to these lows. So this is going to be aggressive, but if you see this, you might take that. And yeah, you get your scalp. Now we're getting another matching bottom. But see how this congestion basically just like moved over? You know, that's why there's not that many setups right now, because it's basically just the same. It's the same pattern. You know, so if you have it on these closes, all that happened in this sequence is that we broke out and we're pulling back into the range. You know, probably the highs are somewhere up there. So let's see if we get this little breakout here. Let's see if we get a push down and a setup. We can take that long. Here's the push down. So once we break above that bar, I'm interested in going long. Oh man, this hasn't broken yet, and it broke right there though. Okay, so with this one, I think the only thing to keep in mind is you're still buying the breakout. I think when we talk about the breakout pullback entry, maybe the entry needs to be more above the line, not in the range. And there it pops. So, you know, you were just probably a move too early. There's another trade here, a second entry long, but that's kind of the same problem. You're buying the breakout long. So you might not have entered it there. You might have entered here and then not have entered there. And depending on how you manage this trade, which, you know, by the time it sets up like this, I'm pretty sure your stop is going to be one tick. You know, this isn't by no means a full 2-point loss, so it's not like you're losing a lot on this. But you probably have had a move by then. Part of the game. You lose trades here and there. Okay, so we move up. Once again, you know what we're really looking for. So always remember that. We're expecting that this leg is going to be the same as this leg. So just take a measured move of that. It's kind of a big leg, but you know, that's what we're looking for. Somewhere over here in the highs. So we are trying to find ways to get back in long. Get a pullback. And then I think some news came out because this was a major bar. So we're just gonna let this play out, see what it does. Close to that target in the highs. Big red bar. That's crazy. So there are no trades. I mean, you know, you're going for a wild ride trying to do anything. In fact, this bar, 844.46, I mean, this bar literally happened in 5 seconds. You wouldn't even have time to, and this bar was 3 seconds. You wouldn't have time to get your order placed, so just wait, let it cool off a little bit. Big move. And sometimes when you fuck up and you go long in something like this, like maybe here, even though your stop is at 2 points, if it moves too fast, like it's doing, you know, these moves are happening in 6 seconds, this bar. It'll push right past your stop and it'll exit you on the close of the volatile bar. So just, we're chilling. But price action still works. See how we get a range, big breakout, and we come back to test the range. You know, if it was slower, we would consider buying there. It's kind of the same reason I was ready to buy over here. Slow high, move down. I think one thing you would do though, even though we do ignore this, this is a really strong move. So let's just put it there. But let's see if this micro trend plays out. There's a breakout, and look, on this breakout pullback, look at this. There's a leg higher, a pullback, a stall, and another push higher that's about the same size. So that's a two-legged move back to the EMA. That's cool. We'd like to see that. And then off this high, it came up, broke down once, came up again. This is the second time it's broken down. Let's go short there. Nice, easy trade. Let's see, though, if this was happening fast enough. I'm not sure. 846. These bars are happening. These are a little slower, maybe 45 seconds, 30 seconds or so. And it's probably still a little early to be fooling around in here, to be honest. So he might not have actually taken that. let's see. Now we're starting to slow down. Bounce. Now we're slowing down. So right around this bounce here, about 2 minutes. I think arbitrary, you should just wait 15 minutes before and after news comes out. So this news came out at 8:45. So 15 minutes is about 9. Yeah, so it's kind of right there. All I'm doing here is I'm just measuring this big leg down and seeing if this move continues, where would we expect it? Somewhere down there. Okay, so we're moving up. Here's our first micro trend, because that price action played out, leg down, breakout, move to a new low. Now we're expecting a reversal. Ooh, right there, you get a push lower, fail, push lower. If this fails, then we will buy it right there. Fails. I don't know if you're out yet. If you get in on a limit order, yeah, you'd be out. Limit or stop, you'd be out. Pulling back. You don't get much more on that. And it kind of pulls back on you. But with this micro trend, we're still expecting a move higher unless we get the reversal pattern off this move. So as this pulls back, here's that reversal type situation we were talking about. I'm not sure if you should take this trade. I'm going to say, since it's on the chart, it's there. But if you're this conflicted about a situation, let's practice staying out. So we'll just do that. And let's see what happens. Yeah, and the reason we weren't so into it is because the context we're looking for is a long. We're not looking for a short. And especially now, this short is more of like in a congestion area. That's why we can't make a decision, because we're, it's funny when you're like, oh, should I go long here? It's probably because you're in congestion and it's starting to get like ups and downs. It's confusing. So you got that little failed break lower and then move up. Okay, so we have a swing low there, and now we're starting to get some momentum up on this leg. Let's be proactive. Draw your line there to the high, click it, and bring it over. So let's look for a target up there for this leg. Good, you get this little double top, pull back. You wouldn't have been able to enter on that signal bar like that. Bam, perfect move. Just no good signal bars for us. Here, it's a little risky trade. I'd say this trade's a little risky actually, but from this swing low, failed second entry short. Once you broke above this bar, we're in long. Have a tight top. Have a have a tight stop because we're pretty far from the EMA. I think you get your scalp. Yeah, you get your scalp. And pulls back. Okay. That's a matching low. That's cool. I kind of took this trade yesterday. Let's see what happens with it in terms of the signal bar isn't that great, but the trigger bar closes like a signal bar back inside the range. And this is a second entry long. we're getting higher lows and we're off the EMA. Yeah, but if we break below that, that's not going to be good. Yeah. So if it breaks below that, let's see if we can exit just right there. And if it keeps going higher, so trade management, you know, if you're in this, I would have exited there just because of the failed reversal sort of pattern. And then the real key is that this isn't one of our setups. So that's why it's best to wait for the signal bar. Although here, look at this, you have a swing lower, move higher, and then on the second swing lower, this is what you should be waiting for. And that's what I was saying, like, wait for the best trade because it's coming. This trade is different than this trade. This is the perfect trade. See that bearish signal bar? Or the bearish, this is just a bearish bar. But our signal bar is so bullish and it hasn't broken above. So once prices break above there, and that's what happens, right? You take the wrong trade and you end up taking a small loss or sometimes a big loss, and you miss the right trade that, you know, comes in two swings. So this is where you definitely want to get long. And that one was pretty easy. I'm sure you can see it as well. Oh, well, that's noon, so we're basically done. But just to be thorough, you're seeing this congestion right here, right? Getting the bounces in between there. So longs off there and stuff. But that's pretty much the day. I mean, there were some trades. A little tricky, but some of these, like this early one, if you're patient, that would have been really dope. This one over here was really nice. So that's pretty much all there is to it today. All right, guys. I'm out. Questions, DM, email, comment. Betty. See y'all.